Happy Wednesday again, everybody. So we are again back in full-on sell mode. So I had kind of mentioned last week that we had a pretty decent rally, but the area that was needed to be broken is essentially that 282 area. And we tested it for 1 and 2 days, and now we're back to straight on selling. So some of the next big areas that I think everybody needs to focus on is probably the 267, 266 area on the SPY. The NASDAQ overall pretty much looking worse. So, I kind of want to say look for tech to lead the way to the downside if that is where we are headed. That long-term trend line that I have pulled up from 3 years ago looks pretty ugly at this point. So if you zoom into the daily, pretty much tested that and then failed again. So those are very glaring, very huge technical breaks on a lot of these charts. So, IWM included. So just be aware of that, is that the market can be generous for 3 years and it can be brutal for a few months. And that few months can wipe out that 3 years. So just kind of be aware of that. Overall, I'll briefly touch on marijuana stocks because it was a topic of conversation in the last videos. They've all pretty much given back their gains as well. And there's no real major sector that is, at least in my eyes, that has really outperformed in the market overall. Just a lot of the plain names like Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, those are the type of names that are actually performing well, is stocks that are staples that people don't seem to, care about as far as this last big giant rally over the last 3 years, So tech has pretty much led the way. I think it'll lead the way to the downside, and it'll pull some names with it. But overall, those consumer staples are just holding up there. Very impressed with these moves as well. So just kind of be aware of that. If anything, I've noticed airlines are kind of trending up in the last few days, so that's something to pay attention to. So be aware of that. That's a good point because they were pretty much getting annihilated for the last 2 years. So that's definitely a spot to be paying attention to. Along with that, I think I had mentioned Bitcoin, and today was the day. We finally got a break to one of the directions, and it was to the downside. So pretty big move. I think $800, almost $1,000 to the downside today on Bitcoin itself, as long as with the futures at least. Still trades back and forth on the other markets, the actual crypto markets, but today was the day. So, at least we'll have some other interesting charting opportunities with this. I do see a full potential within the next few weeks or months, however long it might take. Tends to be a lot faster than normal, that this could very easily wash out. And a big area of interest for me, it may seem crazy to say it, is sub 4,000. First bounce area would be like 4,500, but sub 4,000 into the 3,000 areas is going to be a spot for interest of me. So hopefully everybody has a great rest of the week, and I will talk at you next week.